Hi, everyone. Hello. Good evening from Nigeria. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for being a part of this tonight. I'm so grateful to God. 2024 is ending. I thought we just said Happy New Year. Woo! Amazing. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. I am so grateful to each and every one of you for being a part of my life. I truly appreciate you. This is the time to invite your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, as we wrap up this year. Navigate with FFA. And my guest tonight, hey, is a firebrand. Recently, I've had courses to listen to leaders. Even yesterday, I still watched the president of my country, who is also my president, addressing the nation, president of Nigeria. I'm proudly Nigerian. President Bola Tinubu addressing the nation and answering some questions, media chat. And he was saying that he was thanking Nigerians for giving him the privilege to lead them at this time. And then he made a profound statement. He said, I will never take this for granted. That is how great leaders, that's the perspective they come from. That's how they see life. And I'd like you to understand that life is essentially a privilege. Whether you were born a pauper, or you were born a king, or you were born in Buckingham Palace, or you were born in Asa Rock, or you were born a priest, you were born wealthy, it is a privilege. And please do your best to put that in the front burner when you are dealing with other people. Nobody lives here forever. No, nobody. Some people occupied the positions that people occupy today. And one day, either by death, or by removal, or by whatever, you're going to leave. But I want to share this one scripture with everyone tonight. Revelations 22. The Bible guides my life. Revelations 22 and verse number 12. The Bible says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. If you think, oh, I'm in power, I'm in position, whatever I do, it's fine now. Let me bring people down. Let me shred them. Let me tear them to pieces. The big boss is in heaven, and he's watching. And he says, I will give every man. I'm so grateful to God that, except in the rapture, everybody is going to die individually and appear before God individually to receive your reward. So please treat people well. If you're privileged to be in power, treat people well. As we wrap up this year, I'm saying this to every one of us. Treat people well, because you don't know what God has in mind for them. And if you are going through anything, let me tell you this. At 60, almost 62, a few weeks time, I'll be 62. I've been through it all. I've seen things. Let me say to you, whatever happens to you, happens for you. We may not understand it. Just don't let the water enter you. Because it is the water that enters the ship that sinks the ship. There will always be water around. Life is a battle. And one day, it will end. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are in high position, whether you are oppressing people, whether you are doing as it doesn't matter. Who can catch me? Hey, I'm laughing in Greek because there is somebody upstairs, the big boss, and the day you'll be standing before him, behold, I come quickly. I didn't write it. And my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. The new year is coming. Treat people well. It's almost becoming my cliche. Treat people well. Hey, treat people well. Because one day, when God shows up, there'll be nobody. All these connections, there'll be nobody to defend you. And that's why it's important for you to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your house help, whether it's your husband, treat people well. God bless you all, and thank you for being here tonight. Oh, my guest tonight, she is something else. I've known her for close to 40 years. She's a Jesus' girl. She loves God, but she's sound, intellectually, very intelligent, a woman. And my God, it's an honor to have Dr. Funke Adetuberu here tonight to share with us. Oh, my global family, thank you. Dr. Funke Adetuberu is my guest tonight. Beautiful woman, and she's here. Oh, good evening, Dr. Funke. You need to turn your camera.
Good evening. Yes. Good evening, ma'am.
She's spiritual, she's beautiful, she's intelligent. I've known her for close to 40 years. This woman has something upstairs, and she's been through a lot too. Show me a general, and I will ask for his or her
scars.
I have mine too. You're welcome,
we only
beautiful woman.
Scars,
Thank you so very much for agreeing to be my guest tonight.
Thank you.
I have a global family here from everywhere. Kenya, Japan, Australia. Thank you. Everybody, please show some love to my guest. She's beautiful. Yes. You see? Somebody says she's beautiful. Look at it. I told you. And she's over 60. She's a grandmother. Thank you to Dallas. You see? They're everywhere. It's a global family. Thank you so very much. So, Dr. Funke, welcome again. And this is the second time I'm hosting you.
Thanks for the second privilege.
And I'll bring you again and again and again.
Thank you. I'm grateful. So grateful.
Yes, I believe that God has, you see, Ghana. Thank you, everyone. USA. Thank you, everyone. Somebody says she's turning. I told you. I warned you. Okay. Elegant grandma.
Making me to blush. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
Somebody said, who is over 60? She's a jewel. Oh, my family is loving on you, the UK. Good evening, everyone. I've known you for about 4 decades, and you've been the same fiery preacher with integrity, and then speaking for women. Thank you, Belgium. I see you, Sierra Leone, Ghana, everyone. Please permit me to just focus tonight, please. Speaking for women and men, and you are in a space that is quite unique. I'm not in that space. I speak generally about marriage, about relationships, and all that. You are in a space that is so needed this end time. Tanzania, you see them. And I'm just going to yield the floor to you to just hit the ground running. Tell us a little about yourself, and then go ahead and tell us, you see, Canada, USA, Tanzania, thank you. Tell us as you feel tonight. We're here in the next 1 hour. And I'm not going to interrupt you. I don't think I want to interrupt you. But please just go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you for this privilege. I'm not taking it for granted. You know that I've treasured you for how long. There's nothing I cannot do for you,
I'm grateful. I am grateful.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this family and having the privilege to bring out some things. My name is Funke Adejumo. I'm over 60. I'm a grandmother. Been born again for 41 years. I just wrote 114 books. I'm going to write 7,000 before I die. I'm very intentional. I'm very intentional, and I'm very, very focused. I remember my son was asking me, he said, Mommy, how did you survive this storm? You, Mommy Adejumo, all the mommies and mommies. And I told him, I said, I was living a script. When you write this, when a movie is written, you put everybody in their various scripts. And I'm playing my script. I'm living my own script. If I jump into another person's script, I'm not going to be awarded by the movie director. David said, I've come in the volume of books that is written of me, meaning that I have a book that is written of me. And you know, the one that wrote the script of my life, he knows what he has written. He knows my portion. He knows what I am going to become. And you know, when you go through stuff and things happen to you, sometimes you are questioning God, you are querying God. But I know that God is always behind the scene, shaking the scene. You may not see him. And that's what I discovered in the journey of my life. I came from a very dysfunctional background. You know, I was so bad. The doctor said I can never be pregnant. You know my story. We were in the hospital when you saw my medical reports that this girl, she doesn't have a womb. But today I'm a mother of nations. And that's not that alone. God took me through the school of life to be able to navigate life and walk through some storms that has made me a voice. And it starts from the family system. You know, everybody stems from a home. Polygamy. If you are raised by parents that are separated, you are supernaturally dysfunctional. I'm just lightening it up. If you are raised by a single parent, you are not normal. You can also be raised from a monogamous home and still be dysfunctional. I've been to labor ward several times. My children are not the same. They have different personality, different temperaments. If a child is not raised by who that child is or the personality of that child, you'll be raising a child that is not functional, even in a functional home. Children are not the same. They slept in your womb. Even there's a proverb that says that the womb of a woman is a passage, meaning that a child comes in differently, and that is how I was raised, different, unique, special. But the truth is, everyone that stems from a home, we are tripartite being. We have a spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. Whatever religion you believe, if you are not really religious, you are not connected to your creator, definitely you operate in your soulish realm and in your body realm. But if you are connected to Christ, you are operating from your spirit, soul, and body. Now, for the fact that you are connected to God does not make you normal. David said, it makes me to lie down and it restores my soul. Meaning that your soul is still the seat of pain and is the seat of your career. I've seen doctors that smoke like chimney, and they know that smokers are liable to die young. It's as a matter of fact, it's written at the back of the cigarette that smokers are liable to die. They have cancer of the lungs, and yet they smoke. I've seen doctors that are bought for people. I've seen lawyers I've seen people that their profession does not allow what they do. I've seen pastors that sleeps around. I can count how many people come crying on my table in therapy and all of that. So you're wondering, then your life becomes a paradox. And the reason why it's a paradox is because of where you are coming from. Everybody stems from a home. And if I'm going to use scriptures, I don't want to start using scriptures, but I'll still, check it in one way or the other, because that is the tenet of my faith. Now, look at so many people that I've talked about the contemporary profession, a doctor, a lawyer, a banker. I've seen people that have chosen a pastoral vocation, because some people go to Bible school to just as a vocation, not as if they're called. Now, some of them, when they start living their lives and they begin to experience contradictory lifestyle that does not speak what they profess, then the question comes in, what is the problem? Have I offended somebody? Is it a battle? A lot of people will go to the mountain, they will fast and pray and do everything, but nothing is happening because there is a wound inflicted in their soul. Now, this wound comes through parenting. I talked about parenting. Comes through our family system, where we stem from. Everybody stems from a home. Nobody jumped from heaven to the earth. Now, developing from a family system, because in parenting, people don't understand that. I tell people, I say, where two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Some grass don't suffer, they die. It depends on the length of fight. Some children don't come up at all in the midst of the storms in their homes. And because we are tripartite being, like I said, we have a spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. Our soul is the seat of, I'm a lawyer, I'm a banker, I'm an engineer, a pastor, I am whatever engineer, whatever profession you have chosen, that sits in your soul. Pain, rejection, being abandoned, being isolated, not fatherly love, molestation, rape, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, everything sits in our soul. Now, when you are wounded in your soul, you bring out, you express it through your body. Let me give you an example of a child that is being sexually molested or maybe assaulted sexually. Definitely, that child has two ways, he or she, depending on the gender, because I see men also that were sexually assaulted. And people think it's only gender, female that go through sexual assault. Men go through it. Joseph is an example. This person wanted to rape her, so he raped him rather. So definitely, it is not gender-based. That's why we don't really zero this particular session to the gender. Now, the truth is, when a child is sexually assaulted, somebody was raped growing up, there are two ways to reply to that pain. It's either you shut down sexually, you are not active or whatever, or you go crazy and start sleeping with everything in trousers or anything in skirt. Now, when you have given your life to Christ, because I'm talking about being a tripartite being, your spirit is saved, but your soul is not saved, your body is not saved. I used to be a little bit on the plumpy side before I became a believer. Well, I'm a little bit added up because of, raising children and all of that, but nothing happens to my body. My soul is there. Now, if one is not careful, by the time you are struggling in your soul, you can choke your spirit man. Sometimes you become a dwarf, or you are malnutrited, or you are kwashiorkor. Now, that's why you see a lot of believers who are wondering. And Paul said something, he said, there are things I want to do, I don't do. Who will deliver me? I'm living a life, I'm dancing to a music, I don't know it's playing the rhythm. I'm a child of God. I have the spirit of God, but what's going on? Who will deliver me? He started screaming for help, shouting for help. And I've noticed a lot of people that struggles with their soulish life that kept screaming, why this anger? Why this low self-esteem? Why am I intimidated? Why do I want to belong to the Jones and the Joneses? Why am I not comfortable in my skin? Why would I have to bleach and change my color? What is going on in me? I get angry. Anything in skirt, I want to go in. Anything in trousers, I don't mind. And stuff like that, because something happened to your soul. Now, in the soulish realm, that is where we have also our careers. I've said it before, I'm emphasizing it again. Now, your profession or your profession has nothing to do with your struggle in your soul. It's just that you will just know that this thing I'm doing is not making sense at all. It's not adding up. But you can't help it, because we are living in a generation that people mask. They cover up their pain, they cover up everything until they get to a place where they're exposed or they make wrong decisions. The moment they start making wrong decisions, maybe they marry a wrong person, or probably they got pregnant, or they had to be shamed in public, or maybe they did something that would now, expose their weaknesses. Recently, there was this doctor that had to come to the public place because he was molested, had to go to prison. So many things you see out there on the pew and on the pulpit. And let me say this to make it clear. When people are struggling, they come to their God for religious, and they come to God for help. If they don't see help, some will backslide. But some will stay in church, still struggling, and still in church. So whether you're on the pew or you're on the pulpit, if you are struggling, you are struggling. Now, I said something about being raised from a dysfunctional home. Polygamy, monogamy, raised by single parents. If you have this background, like I said, you can be raised in a monogamous home and still be dysfunctional, because nobody knows you, they don't understand you. Now, being raised from that system, if you don't address it, I have a nickname. My nickname is Tracy. If you can't trace it, you can't embrace it. My nickname is, you must trace it. How do I mean? Check where you are coming from. Look at your background. even in medical science, what they do is when you go to the hospital, they tell you, okay, maybe you have an ordinary headache. You go to the chemist, you are given an analgesic. If that thing does not, if the headache did not go, you go to your hospital, your doctor. Well, if he's a family doctor, they will take your blood pressure, ask you questions. Maybe it's malaria. They will just treat you superficially. Now, when after taking the injection and you are still sick, then the doctor, an intelligent doctor, will not give you treatment again. He will not give you medication again. The first thing they will tell you is go and do tests. They will take your saliva, take your physics, take your blood. They will say go to the laboratory so that they can nip the sickness on the bud. Now the same thing is tracing it. If you are able to look at where you are coming from, you know that this thing I went through. Listen to me. There is nobody that is from a dysfunctional home, anyhow, that you will not have baggages. Some, they are I live in Ibadan. Some baggages can be as tall as Cocoa House, 25-story building. Some can be a trailer load. Some can be just one bag of baggage. But baggage is baggage. Whether you are conscious of it or not, it affects the way you relate to people. It affects the way you mix with people. It affects the way you react to a lot of things because of where you are coming from. Now, going back to the foundation of tracing it. Now, if you trace it, you have to embrace it. There are things you cannot do anything about. You were molested growing up. There's nothing you can do about it. You had a child outside wedlock. There's nothing you can do about it. You embrace it. You accept it. Then you make your mess to become your mandate. Your mess to become your message. You make your mess. I made my mess my ministry. Like I told you, my parents divorced when I was 6 months. The allegation was adultery. I had never had "I love you" before in my life. Until when Jesus came into my heart was when I heard "He loves you," and I broke down. I started crying. I said, "Lord Jesus, if truly you love me, I'm sorry." And that was the turning point. And the same venom, the same enthusiasm, the same zest, I mean, it's the same. I've been 41 years, man, now that I've given my life to Christ. I mean, I was not ready to trade him for silver or gold, nor riches untold, but the baggages were there. Because my spirit is ignited to my Creator, but my soul is wounded. I was so wounded that I started making wrong decisions. And that's what happens. And if you are hearing me today and you are not married, please, I'm appealing to you. Just understand, trace it. Know where you are coming from. If you understand where you are coming from, do everything to deal with it before you add another life to your life. Now, somebody said, you know what? I married as a virgin. Excuse you. Being married as a virgin does not make you normal. I'll go to the scriptures. Look at Rebecca in Genesis 24. That girl was dynamic, resourceful, intelligent, intentional, solid. There's nothing you are looking for in a girl that is not this virgin that you will not find in her. But look at what happened to her. What happened was that his father was a shadow dad, a missing in action dad. You want to get, okay, let me put it in a practical way. You want to go to, somebody met you at the well because you were nice to that person. And the next thing is, we want to marry you. And you are saying you are going now. Who does that? Some of you jump into marriage because there was no home, there was no family. And when you hear that somebody loves you, and there are people that comes to your life, they hoover you with love. I'm still going to talk about personality disorder. Because what affects us, what makes us to make wrong decisions, what even put us on a wheelchair? Look at Mephibosheth. He was crippled both feet. What happened? What broke out in the family system? Anytime there is a war in the family system, the child is messed up. You're on a wheelchair, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, sometimes physically. I've seen husband and wife that are hitting each other, and the child drops and is crippled. Now, I'm just going back to Rebecca in Genesis 24. We were made to realize that the moment the doctor said, the man said, after he had prayed, oh, please don't tell me it's the will of God. I prayed and fasted. Please, that does not make your marriage to work. Please take it to the bank. Understand that. But the father, you say, it's the will of God. I saw God. I had revelation. Probably the person that even came to you in the name of God is a narcissist that will hoover you with love and show you everything because they love bomb you. They make you feel there's no other life outside their life. And it's a setup. And the moment you get in there, you are stuck for life. And that's the truth. Now, what happened to Rebecca? She was supposed to have said, okay, let's go and meet my parents. Let me take my time. She didn't take any time. She said, I'm going now. Now, when the father was going to give her out in marriage, it was the uncle that gave her out in marriage. There are wrong fathers. We have a shadow dad. We have a missing in action dad. We have a boundary buster dad. We have a critical dad. And we have a traditional dad. This kind of a father, if you have such a father, they have messed up your life. Every child needs a father's love. Every child needs to be validated. When you see a girl that the father loves, it's different. I'm telling you the truth. You know, recently I have one of my chefs. She's just a lovely girl. I said, and I she called and I said, did you call? I said, my dad. I said, no wonder. Good girls are raised by good. Your father is your hero. Unfortunately for Rebecca, in that home, they have two parties in Rebecca's home. And now Isaac came from a home that you'd have felt, oh, Isaac is fine. Fear of Isaac. Excuse me. Isaac is superly dysfunctional. The moment there's a conflict in a home, the moment there's a crisis, now we react to pain differently. Some of us, when we have pain, we shout, we yell. Some we keep quiet. Some will just be numbed. But that does not mean that the wound is not there. I'm still going to talk about wound. The wound was there. He was just there until he got married. Now, whose marriage is too powerful than Isaac's marriage? They prayed, they fasted. The man was said, the God of my father. He entered an oath before he could make that decision when it comes to marriage. So that was the will of God, by excellence in the Old Testament. But the truth is, the damage has been done by the family system. You must trace it. If you can't trace it, you can't embrace it. Now, when it started having challenges in our home, in their marriage, they had two parties. Now, somebody was talking about the inlet to struggle. I deal with sexual addiction. I deal with trauma and all of that. I discovered something. When Isaac was going to seek the face of God for Rebecca, God told them there are two nations in your womb. Two of them are powerful. But because of where they are coming from, I talked about baggages. Because of where they're coming from, what happened? They could not communicate again. There was problem with communication in that home, because when Isaac and Rebecca when Abraham and Mommy Sarah were relating, there was no communication. So it affected the child. Now, let's look at Rebecca also. When Rebecca was in that relationship, it affected her also. That was why she wanted to leave at home. Well, let me just leave and go and meet a man that loves me. And when you say love is blind, mama, you say marriage is an eye-opener. Everybody is Eddie Murphy, Jackie Chan, James Bond, when they are getting married. In courtship, few. In marriage, the rest. So everybody masks in courtship. I've seen people that are married as wish. I thought I married a Christian. Excuse you, the person is a Christian. It's just that he's loaded but he's wounded. One of my books, Loaded but Wounded. Now, before they knew what was going on, they heard the voice of God, two nations. Now, God has told you there are two nations. Why would you want to bless your boys and the woman is his dropping? Why would you be his dropping? It's supposed to be a meeting of, an anointed meeting that they will even do communion. I'm just picturing scriptures. That's the way I think. I felt they should really have a good time, because the covenant was backing them. But guess what? You know what happened? Everybody, suddenly, they just called Rebecca. They said, you, this woman, you will lose your boys. And Ejo, I beg you. The Bible says this young man ran for his dear life on his way out. I'm talking about some things. I would trust God to have a synergy of what I'm saying. Guess what? As he was going, he saw a girl. And the father-in-law said, well, before you can do anything, 7 years. How would you on earth in your own life pursue destiny, a nation, and the next thing is private parts? 7 years. Journey of destiny. You could see that where the challenge is, the pattern of the bloodline was dealing with this man. He didn't know he was dancing to a music. He doesn't know it's playing the rhythm. Abraham has committed adultery. Isaac did not commit adultery, but something is fighting the bloodline. There was something in the bloodline. And guess what? Before they knew it, the night of the wedding, please, you courted a girl for 7 years, ma. 7 years. And the night of the wedding, that's why if you tell me, oh, he loves me, that's why I want to sleep with me, you are joking. He will sleep with you and dump you. Drop you like pack of cards. That's the truth. I was asking, I said, he does not know the voice, does not know the odor. Or, body, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, another 7 years, 14 years on top of a woman, somebody that is going somewhere. If you are struggling, just think about, let's look at it, 14 years because of woman. You know the story. Now, now look at the way the family of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, look at the thing that, oh God, that Jacob was giving back to. I mean, Isaac was giving back to. Married a lady. Leah was dancing, was giving back to her pain. Listen to me. If you don't deal with your pain, the odor that will be coming out of your life will be offensive. You must deal with it. That's why you must trace it. That's why we have a lot of people that what they are doing is they are replying the voice of their pain. They are replying the voice of their shame. They are replying everything they are dancing to is to reply because they are not healed. And I'm going to talk about being healed today. Now, when Abraham, let's go back to, I'm going back to Leah. Leah started having children. My husband will love me. Everything will fine. Story. It was just acting funny. The only one that was relevant in her life was Judah. The only thing. I don't know. Dinah was not supposed to be born. I'm so sorry. Because why are you giving? Now, when you are not healed, if you have been able to trace it, I wish Leah just embraced it and said, whatever it is, there's Judah in my heart. I'm going to deal with my pain. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to be a wounded healer. I'm going to it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to tell you why. But intentionality, determination would help you to go through that route and become the best version of yourself. And sincerely, you have to get into therapy. David said, it makes me to lie down and it restores my soul. Restoration of your soul is like peeling an onion. It's in layers. Coming back to Leah, you know the story. Gave back to children, messed up everywhere. But something I discovered, I love the scriptures because I know we have different faith and belief, but because this is the tenet of my faith, and that's why I'm really, really emphasizing this. But the truth is very simple. When you are from such a dysfunctional family background, monogamy, polygamy, raised by single parents, you must trace it, then embrace it. You can't embrace it in isolation. Somebody must help you to walk through the journey. It's like, recovery is like peeling an onion, line upon line. You get vulnerable to someone. And I'm not saying you should cry before someone that will not say sorry to you. That's not what I'm saying. Somebody that will help you to heal. And when you are healed, when you are healed, then of course, trace it, embrace it, erase it, start erasing it and start replacing it. That's what I'm talking about. Coming back, garbaging in, garbaging out, in therapy, in accountability, people that you trust with your life, not somebody that will talk to and he'll start mocking you at the back or use your information against you. That's not what I'm saying. Now, what makes a person that is from a dysfunctional home how do we come about being dysfunctional? Let me just say that in a jiffy. Now, the truth is, the moment you are from a dysfunctional home, you naturally marry a man or a woman that is dysfunctional. I've told you from Isaac to Rebecca, and I can show you more. But let me limit it to that. Rebecca had father's issue. Isaac saw conflict in the home. That was why I said, even if you're from a monogamous home, there is a consistent conflict that is masked under religion, under stardom, under the fact that nobody will know. I tell people that are raised from a dysfunctional home, there are 3 things that is close to them. Don't talk, don't trust, and don't feel. Don't talk. Family secrets. Don't feel. It is when I started living in Nigeria, I would hear children say, Mom, you are hurting my feelings. They did not born anybody well in our culture to say you are hurting my feelings. They don't believe you have any feelings at all. They will beat you and maybe knock your head till there's a hole. But when I started traveling, I would hear children, Mom, that's not nice. You are hurting my feelings. I said, well done. It's only in your system you can do that. Now look at our African setting. They don't expect to have a feeling. When daddy slaps mommy or daddy walks out on mommy, or you came home, your mom is sulking and crying and in pain, people assume there's nothing wrong with you. but that wound is sitting in your soul. That pain is somewhere, is in your subconscious. I've seen women that would vow that their husband will not spend 1 naira, 1 pound, or 1 penny out of their money because the mother gave everything to the dad and he ended up as an adulterer. So the truth is, I'm not going to trust any man. So don't trust, don't feel, and don't talk. So you are encapsulated in your secret, and sincerely, you are sick as your secret. You are as sick as your secret. And I'm saying it again. You are sick as your secret. Now, when you are in that part of in that mold, in that box, that thing boxes you up. Then you start making wrong decisions. You start choosing wrongly. I've seen children, most children that they are struggling in their marriages today, they married men like their dad. And I used to say that like daughter, like mother, like daughter is not a myth. Like father, like son is not a myth. That's why if you are not intentional, you unconsciously repeat the pattern. You take it in hook, line, and sinker. You're just wondering, what I hated in my dad is what I'm doing. What's going on here? If you are not intentional, that's why if you are tracing it, you must trace it, embrace it, and face it. And facing it, you are not sparing yourself. In facing it, you are accountable, you are intentional, you are in therapy, you are using everything. Look at the prodigal son. He came to himself. I didn't know what happened. God was silent about the mother of the prodigal son. They are trying to make a picture out of it. Now, why I'm saying all of this is this. When you are from a dysfunctional home, you marry a man or a woman that is dysfunctional, consciously, unconsciously. Now, in the class of these dysfunctional men, we have sociopaths, we have psychopaths, we have narcissists, we have people that have bipolar disorder. Now, when you are, let me plug narcissistic personality a little bit, because a lot of people are not even aware of who a narcissist is. A narcissist is a self-worshipper. He loves himself, he worships himself, he's never wrong. So if you are married to a narcissist, please don't even stress yourself. It's a bad dream. The man cannot change. Mama, what changed a man is inside. Prodigal son came to himself, he changed. I'm changing every day because I accept that something is wrong with me. People that does not believe anything is wrong with them, they cannot change. So don't even try and pray. Pray. I'm not saying you should not pray, but the truth is, insight changes a man. People that will argue with you about their weaknesses, you are the one that is wrong, they will never say sorry. If you are related with such a person that is selfish, self-centered, he does not want you to meet with anybody, he isolates you, you are befriending everybody, he's an addict, we have addicts, we have narcissists. If you have the two combination of, we have them both in male and female, please. I've handled some terrible female narcissists. So it's not just gender, I'm not gender biased. Now, such men, they will gaslight you. You will doubt the reality of what you are going through with them. Now, if this is green, say, no, it's not green. It's okay, maybe I'm even wrong. Maybe it's not green. They'll make you to doubt yourself. They make you to lose your mind. They will never appreciate anything. Do everything for them. Pay their bills. Do everything. They will never say thank you. And they cannot say sorry. Then they wound you emotionally. You know, one man was saying, I'm going to beat you and there'll be no scars. Now, emotional wounds are worse. Now, emotional wounds are not X-rayed. Please get it straight. Emotional wounds are not X-ray. X-ray don't see emotional wounds. Now, emotional abuse is worse because people will be thinking, what is wrong with you? You are not submissive. Why are you doing this? You don't know what the Bible says. Please don't let anybody get into therapy. Understand what it is. You know what I tell people? The moment you start talking, I say, well, Google is your friend. Check these characteristics and be sure if your husband or your wife fits into this mode, you need help. And let me say this, nobody can be free in isolation. You need a strong, solid support system to be able to handle a narcissist. If you marry one, you need somebody that will keep, because they drain you. They are vampires. I see them. Look at what I just published a book, How to Identify and Navigate Narcissistic Relationships. They are vampires. They will drain your life. You won't have one day of joy in that relationship. They gaslight you. They smear campaign you. They tell everybody that you are bad. Nobody will buy you for 1 penny except the people that are discerning. And church is so oblivious to this fact that they just as in, where will she go? Where will he go? I heard Mama said it some years ago that the covenant of life is more important than the covenant of marriage. Because when you live with those people, as a matter of fact, they won't let you go. One of the dangerous things about a narcissist is they will not let you go because they don't believe they have to fail. They believe failing is they are becoming a failure by letting you go. So they make sure they cage their prey. They snare their prey. They put them in a cage. They will do everything and they are waiting for you to fall. They will keep waiting. They will do everything. They are listening. Their ears on ground. The only solution is therapy. Then do good. Do good for yourself. Live a life. Let them be hearing about you and be having headache and having to struggle. Because if you don't do that, nobody comes from that pit and become anything in life. Nobody. Nobody. So that's why the campaign has to go. Can I say this again? I say it a lot, and let me say it here. Until the states are restored, we won't have revival. We can have migration. Because how fast can you run with a bag of cement on your head? You can't be carrying weight and flex your mental, emotional, psychological muscles. What a narcissist does with you is to make sure that you are not living. They can even plan your demise, your death, because to them, living them is like, what do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Who are you? You have gods. So you need a constant, professional, solid support system. And in all honesty, they need, because dealing with these people is like dealing with how do I put it now? It's like opening pages of paper. It is the page they bring, you analyze, you help the person to walk it through, another page. What about when they are co-parenting? They will turn the head of your children against you, that the children will see you as an enemy if you are not intentional in your recovery. They will do everything to smear campaign you, to gaslight you, to badmouth you. I'm simplifying those words for you to just not become a human being. But the people that will be out of that struggle, they are the ones that would tell themselves, I can't die like this. I must come out. Now, how do I mean? When you are in such a relationship, your wound is so deep because of the stigmatization. They stigmatize you. They say whatever. That's why when I dress up, I wear clothes that have petals, whatever. So what? You are not wearing my shoes. You don't know where he hurt. Mind your business. It's not your business. It's my business. It's my life. And like you said at the section of this program, you said, we are all going to be accountable to God for the life we live in the flesh. Can I say this to every woman that is in a toxic relationship? If you are not careful, you are going to destroy your children. Now, you cannot be dysfunctional in two ways. If you're married to a narcissist, can you just work on yourself so that you will not suffer in two ways? If you don't make it by marriage, you make it by your children. Now, as a woman, if you start sleeping around and start compromising because of pressure, you will regret it, because your children will not listen to you. They will not honor you as a woman or a man of integrity. That's the truth. Because I've seen a lot of women, the moment it happens like that, some of them are not even smart. They will have like 6, 7 children. Oh my goodness. So how do I handle 7 lives? It's not funny at all. They would have to compromise. They have to do this. They have to do that before they can survive with those kids. If you find yourself in that kind of a situation, seek help. Help is always available. We are, I tell people, I said, it's only in the kingdom we don't. Mama, I thank you for having this. It's only in the kingdom we don't respect professionals. I use glasses. I have an optician. My tooth started giving me issues. I have to stay a dentist. When I turned 50, my niece was telling me, lose weight. I saw a physio. You know, I've been to labor ward. I had surgery that so many people were there at the surgery table. Meaning that this one body, they are departmentalized and compartmentalized. Why would one person want to do the same thing to one body? It's not possible. So let's respect professionalism. That's why I tell people, I said some people who go and start church. I'm not a church woman. If you start church, I will just be preaching therapy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not healthy for the church. So people should understand that there are people that the Bible says God has given us all that pertain to life and godliness. My son, Prophet Adetuberu, will say, God gave us brain so that God can rest. I love that word from him. God gave us brain so that God can rest. Meaning that God has set people into our lives and given us the energy to just go on and on. Now, how do you know you are healed? I normally use the example of when Jesus died and Thomas said, you did not die. You did not die. It's a lie. It's not true. It's not true. Jesus said, touch the point of my wound. And when he touched it, Jesus was, yeah, paining me. When they touch the point of your pain and you are not feeling that pain anymore, then you are healed. When they touch it, a lot of things touch it. Verbal abuse, comments, what people say, backbiting, gossip. You just be saying whatever. So what? Wear my shoes, I know where it hurts. I don't pray what I've been through in life. I don't pray for my enemies. It's not possible. I'm telling you the truth. I don't. But you know, when you are making your decision, you have moved on with your life, and somebody is telling you stories. Whatever. Mama, you want to say something?
No. I'm pinning some comments.
Thank you, ma.
God gave us brain so that God can rest.
God can rest. SPTFA. The one that said, I mean, that word resonated in my heart, that God gave us brain so that God can rest. He has given us all that pertain to life and godliness. And please, I have clients that are Muslims. I'm not a religious person. I don't do religion in this profession. By the grace of God, I'm a psychologist, I'm a psychotherapist, I'm a counselor. Anybody can be helped. I would help based on the tenet of your faith. When I do therapy for people that are depressed, now, when you are living with these vampires, you are depressed for the rest of your life. You wake up in the morning, you are frowning your face. You hear the voice of your abuser, you are vomiting, you are puking. That's the pain. Because you know, when you love, you give everything. And listen to me, when they are addict and they are narcissists, they can sleep with anything in skirt, in trousers, and they will not say sorry. And they mask their addiction. They mask their infidelity. They mask it in a way that when you are saying that, you are not. Now, listen to me. There is a lady here. I'm just perceiving it in my heart. You have sensed it. You perceived it, but you are doubting the reality of what has happened. Get it? There's something wrong somewhere. A woman has 38 solid powers. One of them is the power of intuition, perception, stability. When something tells you, don't shut that voice. Now, let me say this to you. If your husband is watching pornography, is an addict, hear me. Pornography does not pop up on my phone because I don't go there. So don't tell me, you know what? It just popped up. It didn't just pop up. The man is going there. The algorithm will bring it to you because it's going there. Please, quick, addicts are liars, though. Narcissists are liars. If they say good morning, it's good midnight. The day is not done. It's dark. So they will lie. They will pretend, and sometimes they look so innocent, as if they cannot do anything. And when you look at them, you wonder, this person cannot hurt a fly, but it's killing a giant. It's killing every giant that God gave to them to nurture and to preserve. So the truth is, you need to be healed. You need to understand the dynamics of your spirit, your soul, and your body. I can tell you stories of so many people that I've been privileged to reach out to, that they will say, are you there? Did you see, are we living together? I said, don't worry, you are not living together. These people are evil. Now, it's a mental illness. Addiction is a mental problem. listen to me and listen to me good. How do they become a narcissist? Parents, hear me. When you are raising children, maybe they are gifted, maybe they are not healthy, maybe they are a special child, probably there is something that happened to them. Please don't worship any child. It is not what they want to give them at the time they wanted it. You are breeding a narcissist in your life, in your home like that. They cannot be getting away with things. Put your feet down, because it's from childhood. People, it's your formative years that makes you who you are. Parents have made them, especially if you are separated and it's only your children you have. I thank God they are your children, they are your husband, they are good, but please don't take nonsense. Let them know that there's something we call power of saying no. There's a boundaries. Now, let me say this to people that are married to these mentally ill people, that you're struggling to, they want you to come back, you want to go back, you are acting like a pendulum. Listen to me. The best way to deal with these people, we call it the principle of no contact. Cut them off. Block and delete. I have the gift of blocking and delete. And I owe nobody apologies for blocking anybody. Now, they have lieutenants. They have lieutenants in their families. You see them having family meeting and be talking about to block all of them. You don't need them, honestly. Choose your allies. Choose people that you know they will help you to heal. Then have a place where you vent. We call it venting. Have a place. You know, sometimes your therapist may not even have an answer, but you have somebody, at least let me just drop it there. Let me know that I'm not dying alone. I've seen people that have developed. I have 5 ladies now. They just removed their breast because of being married to a narcissist. They had 4 of them had breast cancer. The truth is, breast cancer, ulcer, high blood pressure, then you start eating like no life, because you are just medicating your pain. Listen to me. The soul does not like wound. The soul is like your body does not have like sickness. So your soul does not have like wound. So anytime you are wounded, you start medicating your pain with whatever it is. It could be alcohol. Some of you smoke, you drink, you mask it. Some of you just do things that you club. You do a lot of things just to mask your pain. You cannot be masking your pain, or else at the end of the day, it will just make you look funny. And listen to me, when you are married to such a man, you must be careful not to commit adultery. That's the truth. Because you don't have a cover. You are exposed. So such women, before you know it, you just find yourself in the laps of another narcissist. And let me say this. Hear me and hear me good. Most second, third marriages hardly works if you don't deal with it. The devil you did not conquer in that one, how would you conquer in this one? So the next thing, after any form of heartbreak, separation, married to a toxic man, the next thing I will show the person that I'm beautiful. Another man will come in. You are just going on a suicide mission. Fact. Because you have not dealt with this person. You have not healed from the wound of the abuse, of the molestation, the verbal, the emotional, the psychological abuse, and you want to add another one. The person, and there are 7 stages in every marriage relationship. The honeymoon stage, realization stage, nagging stage, explosive stage, divorce stage, back to the honeymoon. So, and every relationship will still go through those 7 stages. So you cannot afford to quickly jump into another relationship. Please, if you know anybody that just separated and wants to jump into any relationship, it's not true. You are being emotional. You are acting like a pendulum. You don't know yourself. Get into someone that will help you to deal with those pains. By the time you are relating with another person, your eyes would have opened. And most of the time, when you are relating in that pain, you are going to be attracted to another user, another toxic person, another abuser. That's why you see some women, they have 4 children for 4 different men in their lives. Because as they are jumping from this, they jump to another one, they jump to another one, they finally, you're not okay, let me be a single mother. Raising 4 kids as a single parent, it is hell on earth. So it's better you learn by information. Learning by information is better. Learning by experience is better. Thank you, ma. I'm looking at the
Oh
time.
my God.
I just,
Oh Lord.
we quickly maximize my time. 6 minutes.
Oh, you are such a massive blessing and a gift to our world. We are so grateful. Dr. Funke Adetuberu, I have pinned her handle, her Instagram handle. If you are in a toxic relationship, or see, somebody said, please don't stop, ma. Jesus loaded. I told you guys, please. I know you need this lady in your life. She's a certified therapist. It's one of the reasons I brought her. She's a professional in this. She's got experience. She's written books. You're going to tell us, Dr. Funke, you're going to tell us how we can contact you if someone is saying that she needs you in her life or in his life. Tell us how we can reach you. Tell us the
My
programs.
Instagram handle.
Tell us how we can.
My
Yes, how we
Instagram
can
handle.
buy your books.
Yes, on Seller. The books, my new set of books on Seller. How to identify a toxic relationship, everything. You can get it on Seller. We are working it on Amazon. Then I've done French. I've interpreted to. We have French. We have Audible of those books. So we're just uploading it gradually. But you can get all my books today on Seller. It's on Seller as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I've sent the link to Mama. Probably. I don't know. Let me just.
If you can just type it in the chat so that we can, in the comment,
Okay,
box, so that we can just pin it for a few. We're almost done.
Yes.
Like I pinned your handle now.
I
Yes.
intentionally.
Okay, some people say they want, somebody says, I hope her service is available because I want counseling.
Yes.
Okay, someone said I just followed you. Okay, fantastic. So please talk to us. If somebody needs counseling, how do we reach you?
You can send me a DM also. You can send me a text. I don't pick calls because of the workload, but you can send me a WhatsApp message, WhatsApp preferably, on 080-232-42389, ma. 080-232-42389. 080-232-42389. 080-232-42389. Is there? Or you can send
no, you put
but
W.
the number is not correct. I'm trying to write it, but it's not correct. Yes, let me write.
Okay, so you can go on her page, and then you see her details there.
080.
Thank you.
42389.
Okay, Sholat's Safari or something has pinned it for us.
Thank you.
If there's someone you can't block, like husband and another, well, we can't answer questions here tonight because I wanted her to have a full, her full 1 hour. Is this number correct? Shola Afiari, 302-324-2389.
080-232-42389. Yes, it's correct.
Thank you very much. So please send a message to her. Her Instagram handle, I just removed it. I pinned it at Funke Adetuberu. The Beru is double R. Oh,
B-E-R-U.
the miracle child.
A-D-E-C-U-P-E-R.
Yes. Desiree, the miracle child. I think you need Dr. Funke in your life. You've been crying and crying. Yes. This has been amazing. So please go take this number and then go on her page at Funke Adetuberu. If you need counseling, you need professional help, don't die alone. Don't go into coma before you ask for help. This is the reason I brought her. She has what I don't have. There are things she said to me that I don't know because I've never experienced. I'm a daddy's girl. So, and God prepares us for destiny. God prepares us. God has given me a good marriage, not perfect, so that I can reach people that are in normal relationship. I don't know how to be a stepmother because that's not who I am. So God has gifted us in various ways. She has experience, and then she's a professional. Please, men, women, there are women that are also narcissists. Now. So whether you are a man or you are a woman, from around the world, please reach out to Dr. Funke Adetuberu. You pay a token, but your life will be saved. I'm going to save this live. You all know it will be on my page for 24 hours, and then I'll move it to YouTube so that more people can have access to it. Oh my God, we're so grateful again, Dr. Funke. Thank you so much. She's written so many books. Please get the books, and oh, when you read her books, you will know that she knows what she's doing. So this is the second time, and we will bring you again and again. People are thanking you already, showing you love
I can't
from everywhere.
thank you enough. I'm so
Thank you. And I want to thank you for what you did recently, not just for me, but for the body of Christ. And you are still doing it. When you reach out to one person who is in problem, you are reaching out to all of us. Jesus said, when I was in prison, you visited me. And they were asking, when, how? You see? So what we do in secret, God sees, and he will reward us. You know that I had to travel to Ibadan a few days ago. I thank you so very much. I thank you, Dr. Funke. I thank you. And you know that I'm grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. May the
You
Lord
are the
bless
best
you.
of the best of the best of the best. Great.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank you.
you.
The Lord. Thank you. I love you too. And you know it. God bless you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Good night, family. Please go and follow her on her page. Go buy her books. Go for counseling. She's a professional therapist. Don't die before you ask for help. I'll see you at the top. Merry Christmas, everybody. And I'm glad to let you know that we're going to Marrakesh in June, not February again, because a lot of people reached out to me that we should move it because it's not convenient, and all that. So we have moved it to June. I'll give you the date. Start saving now. Let's go to Marrakesh and rock and enjoy and, just rest. There is even a night for men only. And I'm trusting God that Dr. Funke will also come so that she can even be a part of those that will speak to the men, on that trip. So let's go, guys. Let's go, ladies. It's for everybody. Marrakesh in June. Start saving. You register with $550, and then, we'll link you. We'll connect you to the travel agent who is working out everything. We're not using hotel. We always use a resort, so that in the morning you can prayer walk along the beach. You can wear your short knicker and enjoy your life. You don't want to just walk and drop dead. God bless you, everybody. June. Yes, I'll see you next week, Tuesday. Hopefully. Otherwise, this may be the last one. And then I'll see you at the top in January in 2025. Good night, everybody. Good night, Dr. Funke. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Wow. Thank you.